This is Danny with QuadLugs, and we're installing the motors on the box quad. Of course, we get 4 motors with the stem kit, and they're 2212, 1400 kV, and we're using Sunny Sky motors. Our motor mounts take an X mount to connect them to the motor, and they come with the motor, so that's a good deal. Let's go ahead and get one of them installed. And first we'll go ahead and install the X mount. If you notice, there's a beveled edge here and it's flat on this side. We want the beveled edge away from the motor because the screws that we're going to use have a bevel and they fit into the X mount there, and they wind up flush when they're installed. So you'll also notice that there's some holes that are wider than the others, so you need to spin them around until they match. And there you go. And again, the bevel edge is on top. And you can tell if you have it in wrong because the screw is going to be sticking out a whole bunch. So let's go ahead and put this on. You should really use Loctite on the screws. It keeps them from backing out. But I'll be real honest with you, I don't use it like I should. And I really don't have a problem with them. So, you know, the way the X mounts mount onto our motor mounts, it kind of keeps them, you know, from coming out. But just wanted you to know how to do it the right way, and that's to put Loctite on it. Okay. We'll finish getting this installed. And then you want to tighten them up good. Okay, this is a number 1, and I think I'm going to get a little bit bigger Phillips screwdriver. And you know when you have the right one because they fit in there better. And so we'll tighten them up really well. And then we'll check them again. Good. Now the props where they mount onto the motor, we're going to install this piece. And you'll see there's 3 screws that go into there. And so you have to line them up. It's not hard. And I think we're good there. And we're using the smaller screws. You're going to have a few extra. That's good. Keep them. And you'll have some extra of both. So, but here we're using the smaller screws. And again, just 2 different screws here, so you can't go wrong. Okay. Okay, I'll just make sure they're tight. There. Put the washer back on, and we'll go over where they go when we do the prop install. But we'll put everything together. These are going to be your extra screws, and we'll save those. Now to install it, the X mount, we use tie bands to put them on. And one reason for that, a couple reasons. One reason is that you can change the motor out very quickly. The other is that if you hit it really hard, in other words, a bad crash, these zip ties will pop and the motor will come off before it starts tearing up, too much of the motor. So the downside, you'll have to change or replace a tie strap or zip tie. The good side is that it'll save your motor wear and tear. So it'd be advisable to go ahead and get you some 4-inch long zip ties and keep a few of them on hand as part of your tools when you go flying. You can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, most every place. You can get them online. So you'll be looking for 4-inch, 18-pound zip ties. They're very inexpensive. I'd go ahead and pick up a few. You'll be prepared in case you have a crash and you have to repair it. I normally put them, you can put them or install the motor this way and have the wires on top, or I normally put it like this and the wires are going to wind up going like this, and that's the way I normally do it. It kind of keeps everything clean here, keeps the wires on the side in case you have a prop, a crash, your prop hits the top of it here. You could cut your wiring. I do this and it kind of keeps it out of everything. So I'm going to put it on this way. That's the way I normally do. Let's get some of the zip ties that came with it. And again, pick some of these up. You'll have them as spares. And if you have a crash, you're prepared. So we just put that through and we'll leave them a little bit loose. These holes, the holes we have in the motor mount, they're set up so they can handle a few of these X mounts, and believe it or not, some of them are a little bit different in spacing. So they're a little tight sometimes, but the way to do this is just lift up the motor like that and leave the zip ties loose like that until you get them all in, and then you tighten them up and it works great. If not, you may have time getting them into the holes or lining them up, but this way you can see it's real easy to put on. Takes just a couple seconds. And let's go ahead and a couple different ways to tighten them up. This is actually how I normally do it. You can just pull like that and it tightens it up. And the same thing here. And just pull them against each other and it tightens them up. You can also use, a pair of needle nose to do it. But I'll tell you, you can do, whichever way you want, obviously. But just doing that number like that, it does a real good job of tightening it up. Works really good. And then I cut these real close to where the connector is. And the reason I do that, it holds plenty good like this. I've been doing this for years like this. But you'll see that if you don't cut them close and you do this here, this right here gets really sharp on you, and it can cut you or whatever. So I just go real close to it like this, right up against it. You can see the difference, and it's nice. It's not gonna stab you with it. That's the way I do it. Works good, no problems at all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and you'll see how this turns out when the motors, when we finish the installation. This wiring is going to come through here and it looks really nice this way. So I'm going to go ahead and get these other motors on and get them strapped on. It's too easy. You don't need to watch me doing this. So I'll go ahead and get these others done, and I'll see you in the next video. And I think we're doing the ESC next. We're going to install it. See you next time.